Hey, you guys. Welcome back to another video. I thought in order to wrap up 2025 as 2026 is fast approaching, I would do a favorites video. So I created a list of all the things that I have been loving for 2025 and I've been doing since the beginning, kind of health routines, beauty products, skincare, all that jazz, books. And yeah, so let's just get started. I just have them all on my iPad, so I'll be reading them off from there, and then I'll, of course, insert pictures if there's a product or maybe like a little clip of something that I do with like a routine or something, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. But anyway, yeah, that's the energy, that's the vibe. Hope you guys enjoy, and you guys also do your own sort of reflection about all the things and like the habits and the products and the things that have made your 2025 you in kind of a favorite way. So let's just go ahead and get started. I just have this in order of what is on my iPad. And so we're starting off with health. The first thing that I've been doing is taking the pressed juice that you can just buy at Sprouts. It's called the Simple Cleanse. And I pour like a little, that juice lasts me like almost 2 weeks because I just do a little bit of the juice and then apple cider vinegar, just a capful, put that in a mug and then pour hot water over it. And it's delicious. Like when I tell you, it's super yummy, super clean, fabulous. So highly recommend doing that. It's like a good first base. You can just put that in your stomach first thing and you'll feel really good. Apple cider vinegar has had a lot of research surrounding how it can lower your glycemic index if you drink it 30 minutes before you eat. So I try to do that, especially because I do drink like some creamer or some sugar or agave in my coffee too. So that helps kind of with the digestion and not spiking your glucose if you're not gonna, have breakfast right away too. So that's been a great routine. I can't tell you it's changed my life exponentially, but it's definitely been a great habit that I've really enjoyed. Next is waiting an hour before coffee. I don't know if this is a favorite, but it's just like a routine that I've done this year that I do think helps. Apparently, when I had a smart ring, I lost it. I'm still trying to find it. But what would say that if you waited an hour before your first cup of coffee, it helps natural morning alertness kind of build. And that kind of goes along with the next habit or slash favorite that I've been doing is like at least once or twice a week. I've been doing a really slow morning where I still get up early, like 7, when I'm not working, I give myself a little bit of grace and I'll wake up like around like 7ish. But yeah, just basically staying in bed, either going and making my hot water beverage, apple cider vinegar thing, bringing it into bed and just reading and journaling and just having a slow morning, staring outside your window, staring at your ceiling, staring at your paintings that you or your pictures that you have in your room, just taking time to have a slow morning. It's just been like, it makes you feel wealthy. Like I see those things on Pinterest all the time where it's like wealth is having the time to have a slow morning, and I've really been doing that this year, and it's made a really big difference in just how I view things and the time in the mornings, instead of just, getting out of bed and going to the gym and doing all this stuff and, grind, just taking at least one morning a week to just be like, I don't have to go anywhere. I can do a workout at noon. I can stay in bed until 10 reading, and that's exactly how I want to spend my mornings anyway. So next has been Good Culture cottage cheese. I swear to God, if it could sponsor my year, I would love that, because man, that thing is hard to find in grocery stores because everyone's been put on. But it's so good, like literally in everything. So Good Culture cottage cheese, you did the most this year and you got me to like cottage cheese. So this is the year of cottage cheese, which I think I'm not alone in that. Clearly, it's been very trendy this year. Next, health favorite has been having peppermint tea after meals and just at night before I go to bed. Having peppermint tea helps your digestion, helps make your stomach feel good. So if you definitely struggle with, feeling really full or feeling kind of, maybe you've had a meal and you're like, oh man, that just didn't sit right, have some peppermint tea. It could help. Next has been eating steak and cooking steak. My mom has been been a complete wizard with the steaks this year. And I just was vegetarian and vegan for a long time. And I've realized that, a nice steak once in a while as a treat is so fucking good. So highly recommend. And then my last health favorite has been making these like peanut butter dark chocolate dates. And normally sometimes I'll put a little piece of banana in them too. So good. And I haven't made them in like a long time and I really want to start making them. So that is it for the health category. Moving on to podcasts. I kind of going through phases with podcasts where I'm like super big into them. That's all I do. Or some months I'm really into music. Some months I'm really into silence. Some months I'm really into both. But these have been on my Spotify Wrapped and are like the tried and trues of the year. So first, taking the cake is going to be Emma Chamberlain. I could listen to her literally talk about nothing, which sometimes she does. And it's, you know what? It's great. So Emma Chamberlain, can't get better than that. Next is Mark Hyman. He's the functional health guru, famous doctor. He just posts a lot of really good free information that will help kind of transform your views on what you eat and what you put in your body and your health span versus your lifespan, and just kind of putting things into perspective and making you confront like, how do you want to live? How do you want to optimize your health so you can stay healthy for as long as you can. So loved that podcast, especially in the beginning of the year. Then I found that it got a little bit like redundant, like he was kind of saying the same things over again. And so I was just like, okay, you know what, I've taken what I needed and then I'm going to go and do my own thing. And so I've definitely that's where I learned about the apple cider vinegar thing. So yeah, a lot of good tips and tricks on his channel, and it's just a really good way if you're kind of wanting to get into health and fitness for maybe a different reason than looking a certain way or just feeling like you have to. You can maybe find some extra motivation, whether it be improved mental health, improved energy levels, improve, setting an example for your kids, setting an example for your parents, whatever it is. You can kind of find some different motivation there, which I really liked. Next has been one I've loved for many years, but the Girls Bathroom. They're two British girls, Sophia and Cinzia, and they're just so funny. And they have people write in and they talk about like different dilemmas and they give advice or they just laugh about it because some of them are kind of crazy. Sorry, there's a dog barking, but yeah, that one's really good too. Next is Classical Stuff You Should Know. I highly recommend this to everyone because if you're like me and are trying to really improve your brain and learn and have kind of taken the initiative to learn on your own now that we're not in organized formal school, I have loved this podcast. I've loved especially all the Jane Austen ones that they do. My favorite was the episode about Emma. I just thought that was such a silly novel, and I tried to read the novel, and it was really complicated. So then basically taking an hour to break it down and talk about all of the literary aspects to it is really great. And so I honestly love their podcast. They're three professors. They're hilarious, and you learn a lot about things that you wouldn't if you were just rotting on your phone. So highly recommend. Next is actually the podcast that introduced me to the podcast Classical Stuff You Should Know, but it's Soul Gum. The creator, it's like Victoria something, is currently on a break from her podcast, but she has so many great episodes from the past that you can look on to her podcast format, or what was I trying to say? Glitch. Her podcast forum. And you can find her stuff because she's great. She's the one on social media that does the like yoga while she talks about things that she's learned, and she's really great. She was a former lawyer, and now she's an author and a yogi and more of a holistic kind of girl. That wraps things up for podcasts. We're gonna kind of jump to books now. And one of my really unexpected books that I loved this year is called The Enchanted April. It was about three women. I read it, I think, in April, so it's been a while. But it's about 3 or 4 women that all go in on a summer home off the coast of, was it Italy or France? Crap. I think it's Italy. They go and they basically rent this villa out in Italy, and they have their staff, and they basically just like, one does nothing. The other's like an older lady, and that just hates one of the other characters. And then there's 2 that are like, should my husband come? Should my husband not come? It basically just goes and accounts their daily life and why each one of them wanted to go to the villa and why each one of them wanted to escape their life and their reasonings and their banter, and it's really funny and just like a very great novel. I was really impressed, and it was also kind of the first novel that I read that was written in, kind of older, not old, but older English, and so I had to definitely look up some words because I had no idea what they were talking about. But it's just like a wonderful novel about just like four girls from all different walks of life living together, kind of getting into tiffs, but then realizing that girlhood is the best. So, highly recommend. The next was The Lost Bookshop, and it was just like a really heartwarming, easy novel to get into, very cozy, and yeah, highly recommend that book. There's kind of not really much more to say about it, but it's really sweet, really cozy, really great wintertime read set in, oh God. See, I read these books like 5 months ago, so I can't remember. But what I really need to start doing is writing like a log of like a summary of the books. So then when you know what, that's going to be resolution. Every book I read, I'm going to write a summary on it, just quick little blurbs so I can like recount them better because clearly the short-term memory loss is real. And then this is kind of a not a book that you read, but a book that you fill out yourself, but it's my no particular order journal. I actually brought it with you. So what I love about it's Margot Lee's company on YouTube. She's quite famous. So anyway, you can put like your title, the author, which would be me. And then I love it because like a blank canvas and you can draw on it. So maybe I'm not in the mood to write, but if I'm bored, I can just like doodle and then you can erase it with a pencil and it can be kind of become this ever-changing, journal. So, and it has prompts in it that are quite creative, and it's really fun if you're in the mood to not just like free ball and you want a little bit more structure. Loved that. Next would be beauty. I only have two, and that is the Anything from the Tatcha skincare line. I use the rice wash and then I use the plumping moisturizer, and I fucking love those products. I also had the lip oil, just like the travel size. I ran out, but I used it every day before bed and it was just so moisturizing, so luxurious. Highly recommend. I think I want to rebuy. And then next is the Edam lip gloss. I think I talked about it in my 2025 Christmas video wish list because has this metal tipped applicator, and girl, let me tell you, it is scrumptious and it's sensory soothing because it's cold on your lips. And I sometimes just like put a little bit of lip gloss on and just continue to just like circle. I don't know what that says about me, but you know what? Whatever. Next would be fashion, and the first item is my hat. I got it last year in December in Brooklyn, and it's just like, I call it the babushka, but it's like this Russian doll, or like the hats that like the guards wear. I don't know, but it's fabulous. And I literally get so many compliments every time I wear it. Like I went to Nashville and I wore this hat, like you saw my last vlog, and I literally got so many compliments on it. Like people, like street performers would stop and be like, dude, nice hat. And I was like, thanks. Like so cool. So highly recommend getting like at least some sort of like funkier hat that maybe people don't see very often, just to kind of, widen their eyes about what they could be putting on their head. Thank you. Next would be ballet flats. I feel like 2025 was the year of the ballet flat, and I got the most gorgeous pair of Gucci ballet flats, and I think about them daily. And I just think they're so chic. They look great with jeans. They look good with dresses. They look good with everything. I cannot recommend a good, solid ballet flat enough. And yeah. I think also this year, 2025, my favorites has been the bomber jacket that's kind of come back. Like the bomber jacket, like light wash jeans, loafer, like that classic Hailey Bieber look. I really loved that this year. Also wearing heels more often. I feel like 2025 is the year that me and my friends kind of rediscovered our love for wearing heels and our like don't give a fuck attitude. I feel like Alex Earl really helped with that because like her and her girlfriends, they always wear heels and they just have a great time. And so we've been wearing heels this year, and yes, your feet can hurt a little bit more, but you know what? It's so fun and it makes me feel so feminine and beautiful and sexy. So do more of that this year in 2026. But 2025 was definitely the year that we wore heels. Next has been my silver arm cuff. Any sort of silver cuff details is just amazing. I think it just, especially putting it like, I love to put it like over like a sweater like this. So it's kind of like two sleeves aren't the same. One has kind of a pop. Highly recommend doing that. It's super fun, and I just loved it for like the beach. It just felt very, you could kind of make it chic. You could also make it beachy. You could also make it boho, whatever. So very versatile piece. And then next brand wise is Realization Par. I went to Australia and I got to go to the store and I got a beautiful blue dress. And then the next week they were opening a pop-up in LA and I went, stood in line for too long and got two more dresses. And I'll insert pictures, but they were definitely my most worn, most complimented dresses this year. And yeah. And then next has just been my digital watch. Like, come on now. Don't have to like struggle to read analog. Not that I can't read analog. I just, when you're just, want a quick glance, you don't want to have to be like, I know it's a muscle and I should probably practice it, but I got like a $25 Casio digital watch that it looks cute. It's a little dainty and you can't really tell that it's digital unless you're really up and close to me. And if you're really up and close to me, then I don't care that you know that I have a digital watch. So anyway, that's been a really fun addition. Next is a miscellaneous category, and that has been a 2025 favorite, has been one of the beaches that I go to and frequent often, and that has been Shaw's Cove in Laguna. I love Shaw's Cove, and like every year I feel like I have a different beach, but 2025 was 100% the year of Shaw's Cove. I will insert pictures. It's so beautiful. The snorkeling is fun. There's kind of an activity. Sometimes there's big waves, sometimes there's not. There's plenty of space. I just feel like the vibes are high, that everything is just a good time. Shaw's Cove, Laguna Beach, highly recommend. Next has been a dirty martini. This has definitely been the year where I've ordered a dirty martini more often and become a dirty martini girl, and I love it. Next is my Alice in Wonderland tattoo, which I have on my arm right here. I'll insert a picture of when she was first done, but I got her at the beginning of the year, and I'm obsessed with her, and every time I look at my arm, I get happy. So, love my tattoo. Next has been scuba diving. I got scuba certified this year, and I went scuba diving the Great Barrier Reef in Australia in April, May. And oh my God, it was really fun. And it was just like, I learned a new skill. I learned something that can be kind of scary. I had to kind of get certified and do it on my own and orchestrate everything. And it was just a little bit like, it's intimidating and it's expensive. And so I was just really proud of myself. And then it became one of the coolest things I've done all year. And yeah, I love it. Next is also from Australia, but it's the bacon. The bacon in Australia, let me tell you, I'm not a bacon girl because I feel like the thin, crispy, kind of burnt bacon here just does not work for me. But the big, thick, but still kind of crispy, melt in your mouth, thick ass bacon in Australia, highly recommend. And then next in the miscellaneous and lastly in the miscellaneous is Substack. I have been loving Substack because it's like longer form articles, but it still can be about like relevant things and also just like bettering yourself, but also it could be about literally anything you want. Best places to travel, how to de-rot your brain. Why, what did I read recently that was really funny? And it was just like this dumb article about like avocados or something like that. Like it's not, maybe not avocados, but like something like that where you're like, why did I just read a 3-page paper about avocados? Anyway, but stuff like that. I just love Substack. I think it's a great like creative outlet. That's where I get, some information, not like politically, but like just about how people view the world. And I think it's great. Some social criticisms on there. I love it. Highly recommend Substack. It is what you make it. So, it's a wonderful long form articles written by people, and it can be anything you want it to be about anything you want. So highly recommend Substack. I've been really into it. Next is music. My artists, I figured I would end with kind of giving you a little bit of insight into my Spotify Wrapped. But my top artist was Hozier, no doubt. I went to 2 Hozier concerts. I went to Outside Lands in San Francisco this year, which was so much fun. And I got to see him and I sobbed. I'm not kidding. I was literally sobbing. And he's amazing. And then I saw him again at the Ohana Festival in Doheny, and that was really fun too. I definitely think Outside Land was better. The sound quality, I think, was just a little bit better. And also, like, it was foggy. It was a Sunday after a 3-day festival, and it was cold, and it was kind of misting, and Hozier is perfect for, like, that vibe. So, versus, like, it was 80 degrees at the beach, and it was, like, just a different energy. So, yeah, Hozier was amazing. Okay, next is DJO or DJO. I don't know. It's the guy from Stranger Things. His band, I fucking love his music. So he was definitely up there. Of course, John Summit is going to be up there. Duh. I mean, I saw him at Proper. I saw him. When else did I see him this year? Did I see him again this year? Oh yeah, Outside Lands. Duh. So I'm at Outside Lands. He was the headliner on Friday or co-headliner, and he was amazing. Next is Sabrina Carpenter's album. That was just like so funny and so good, and I love a lot of those songs, and so loved Sabrina Carpenter's album this year. And then the song Orange Blossoms, I feel like that was like my anthem, and it kind of makes me emotional, makes me think about a time in my life where, and a person in my life who's no longer in my life, but like, I don't know, it was just like such a great song, and it makes me happy but also kind of makes me sad. It just makes me feel, but then the singer's voice is just so great, and so I don't know, I just loved it. But yeah, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my 2025 favorites video. This was really fun, and I like went back on like all my photos and kind of put this list together. And I think everyone should do it. I think it's a fun journal activity. I think it's a fun reminiscing activity to kind of close out the year and think about how far we've come and like what the year's been, like kind of the theme and what we want to leave behind too. So anyway, I love you guys. Also this year, goal is to just get super serious with YouTube. Not like super serious, but like serious with YouTube, get into like a good editing groove, because I am gonna go on my big trip and I want to just be able to like boom, 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 you know, have like at least have the basics down, so when I do want to start adding like the fun kind of crazy things, it's just a lot easier and a lot faster. But anyway, much love. Bisous. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season, and you also take time to reflect on your year of products, things, routines, people, music, activities that made your 2025 special. But yeah, love ya. Bye.